why your body feels different at 75, and what's actually normal. There's a strange kind of quiet that settles in as we grow older, not just around us, but within us. It's the kind of quiet that carries the weight of all the years we've lived, all the moments we thought we'd forget but somehow never do. It sneaks into our mornings, into the way we move, into the way we notice things we didn't before. A tightness in the back when we tie our shoes, a slight hesitation before stepping off the curb, a deeper breath before standing up from a chair. You might catch yourself wondering, when did this all change? There was no grand announcement, no loud knocking at the door to say, today, your body will begin to feel different. It happened quietly, gradually, the way seasons shift, without us really noticing until we see the leaves underfoot. At 75, the world feels both bigger and smaller all at once. Bigger because you see more, understand more. Smaller because you've learned to let go of what doesn't really matter. And your body, this incredible vessel that has carried you through it all, reflects that shift too. It moves a little, slower, speaks in softer signals. It reminds you to pause, to pay attention, not to punish you but to guide you. Too often we are taught to fear these changes, to see them as losses, to think that feeling different must mean something is wrong. But the truth is, feeling different at 75 is not just normal. It's the natural unfolding of a life well lived. Every line etched on your skin, every careful step, every change in rhythm. It's all part of a story your body is still telling. It's not about decline. It's about evolution. Your body is not less than it once was. It's more. It holds more. More history, more wisdom, more resilience. It's the physical proof that you've endured what life threw your way, and you're still here, still moving forward. So today, let's set aside the fear. Let's set aside the whispers that tell us we should be the same as we were at 25 or 35 or even 55. Let's talk, honestly and gently, about what's happening inside you now. Let's honor it, understand it, even celebrate it. Because the truth is, at 75, your body isn't just different, it's extraordinary. Aging isn't something that happens overnight. It's not a sudden shift you can circle on a calendar, or a moment that demands a grand declaration. Instead, it's a quiet unfolding, like a sunrise you don't notice until the sky has already changed colors. The body changes, not to betray you, but to adapt, to carry the weight of the years you've lived and everything you've seen and done. One of the first things people tend to notice is muscle mass slipping away, almost like grains of sand through open fingers. You don't feel it at first. You just find yourself getting up a little slower, realizing that carrying the grocery bags feels heavier than it once did. But this isn't weakness, it's biology. After the age of 30, muscle loss begins gradually, and by 75, your body has quietly rebalanced itself. It's normal, expected even. Your bones, too, are telling their story. They have spent a lifetime supporting you, bearing your weight through every adventure and every fall. Over time, they lose density. It's not a failure. It's the natural course of the body's journey. The scaffolding may be thinner, but the resilience remains. The skin that once bounced back effortlessly now lingers in soft folds, gentle reminders of laughter, tears, and long afternoons in the sun. This isn't decay. It's a portrait, a record. And just like any work of art, it becomes more meaningful with every stroke, every line. Inside, your heart beats a little differently now, not with less purpose, but with deeper wisdom. The heart knows things now that it didn't know at 25, how to steady itself, how to keep moving even after heartbreak and joy alike have left their marks. You might feel the weight of time in your joints, where cartilage has worn thinner. But think about what those joints have witnessed, all the steps they've taken, the children they've rocked to sleep, the gardens they've tended, the hands they've held. Each crackle and pop is not a sign of defeat, but a quiet medal of honor. And yet, even with all this, your body is more than the sum of these changes. It's more resilient, more adaptable than you may realize. It finds new ways to move, to stretch, to breathe. It shifts its priorities from speed to balance, from endurance to mindfulness. These adjustments are not just inevitable, they are essential. They are proof that your body, even now, is doing exactly what it's supposed to do: evolve. But maybe you felt it in smaller ways too, not just in the big, sweeping changes. Maybe it's in the way you stand a moment longer before taking a step. The way mornings feel a bit more sluggish, like your body is reluctant to leave the warmth of sleep behind. These are the everyday differences that come with time, and they often catch us off guard. At 75, movements that once seemed automatic require a bit more negotiation. Knees that once bent without a second thought now bargain with you. Bending over to pick something up comes with a silent conversation between your back and your brain. Is this worth it? And it's not just your muscles and joints. Your metabolism too has recalibrated. Meals linger longer, energy comes slower, and you may find yourself seeking more rest than you once did. But think about what this slower rhythm gives you. In youth, we race, chasing time as if it were slipping through our fingers. At 75, time finally feels different. Slower movements invite slower living. They invite you to notice the things you once rushed past: the way sunlight filters through the window, the sound of birds in the morning, the texture of the fabric between your fingers. It's not about giving up speed for no reason. It's about making room for presence, for appreciation. Your body has learned that not every moment needs to be filled with urgency. Some are meant to be savored. Of course, there are days when this slower pace feels like an unwelcome visitor, frustrating, even unfair. But those are the days to remind yourself you are not in competition with your younger self. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, moving exactly how you are meant to move. There's also a deeper beauty in this adjustment. It's in the perseverance of getting up even when it takes longer, the quiet strength of adapting to a new normal without surrendering your joy. There's pride in every small victory. Every morning you get out of bed, every afternoon walk, every moment you choose to keep going, not despite your body, but with it. This isn't about resignation. It's about respect. Respecting the body that has carried you through a lifetime's worth of sunrises and storms, through laughter and loss, through growth and grief. Respecting its need to move differently now. Trusting that slower doesn't mean weaker, it means wiser. The beauty of reaching 75 isn't just in surviving the years. It's in learning how to live inside the changes, not resisting them, not resenting them, but recognizing them as the body's way of telling you, you're still here, still moving, still becoming. As the years pass, the body doesn't just move differently, it speaks differently too. The signals it sends are more subtle, more nuanced. When you were younger, you might have ignored a twinge in your back or pushed through a headache without a second thought. But now your body insists on being heard. Pain is no longer just a nuisance, it's a conversation. A quiet whisper that says, pay attention. It's not about fear or alarm, it's about awareness. That ache in your knee after a long walk, the stiffness in your hands after working in the garden, these are not warnings of collapse. They're reminders that your body is adapting to its new reality, asking you to honor its limits and respect its resilience. Even sleep becomes a different experience. The long, uninterrupted nights of your youth might now be replaced by lighter, more fragmented rest. This doesn't mean your body is failing. In fact, it's a common shift as the body ages. The cycles of sleep change, and while it can be frustrating to wake more often, it also offers a unique stillness in those quiet hours. A chance to listen to your thoughts without the noise of the day pressing in. Digestion, too, may speak. In a new tongue. Foods that once seemed harmless now demand more negotiation. Your body, with its years of experience, has become more selective, more discerning about what it can easily process. This isn't a betrayal, it's wisdom. It's your body asking for gentler care, simpler choices, a slower pace. And then there are the senses, hearing, vision, taste, each changing their pitch, their clarity. Maybe the edges aren't as sharp as they once were, but what's left behind is a deeper appreciation for what remains. You may find beauty in things you once overlooked. The warmth of a familiar voice, the comfort of a well-loved meal, the sparkle in a loved one's eyes. Learning to listen to this new language takes patience. It requires a shift from frustration to curiosity, from fighting the changes to understanding them. The body is not closing doors. It's opening new ones, inviting you into a different kind of relationship with yourself. Real strength at 75 isn't about pushing harder or resisting what's changing. It's about tuning in, responding with kindness rather than criticism. It's about hearing the body when it asks for rest, when it whispers for gentler movement, when it craves nourishment, not just of the body, but of the soul. Every signal is a story, a piece of the dialogue your body has been having with you all along. Now, perhaps for the first time in your life, you're being asked to listen, truly listen, and to respond not with fear, but with gratitude. Because every sensation, every shift, every whisper of your body is proof that you are still here, still living, still capable of hearing the music of life in a new and beautiful way. It might be easy to look at the shifts in your body and see only what's been lost: speed, strength, sharpness. But there's another story being written beneath the surface, one that speaks not of loss, but of gifts. There's a wisdom that comes only with time, a wisdom etched into every wrinkle, every softened muscle, every careful step. It's the wisdom of survival, of endurance, of having weathered storms that once felt impossible. Your body holds that story, cradles it gently in every fiber and bone. There's a new kind of strength that emerges too. Not the brash, untested strength of youth, but a deep, steady resilience. It's in the quiet confidence that you can face whatever comes next, because you have already faced so much. It's in the calm that settles in your bones, the patience that seasons your movements, the grace that accompanies your every breath. Balance, once taken for granted, now becomes a skill, an art. It teaches you presence, how to be fully in your body, fully in the moment. Every time you pause to steady yourself, you're practicing mindfulness without even realizing it. You're moving through life not on autopilot, but with deliberate care and endurance. Oh, the endurance. At 75, endurance is not about running marathons or scaling mountains. It's about continuing to rise each morning with intention, to meet the day with whatever strength you have, to keep loving and learning and laughing, even when it would be easier to retreat. There's beauty, too, in the way aging redefines your sense of self. No longer are you chasing the narrow ideals of youth, the impossible standards set by others. Instead, you carry a beauty that can't be bottled or airbrushed, a beauty that comes from having lived, a beauty that shines from within, from a heart that has known both loss and love, from eyes that have seen joy and sorrow and still choose to look with kindness. Your body, in all its changes, becomes a testament to this journey. Every crease in your skin, every slower step, every gray hair, they are badges of honor, proof that you have traveled far and seen much and are still moving forward. Aging, when you allow yourself to see it clearly, is not a falling away, but a becoming. It is the gradual unveiling of the person you were always meant to be, not despite the years, but because of them. So let the world chase after youth. Let it cling to the surface. You know better. You have lived long enough to understand that the truest beauty, the deepest strength, the greatest wisdom, all come from the quiet, patient work of time. Your body at 75 is not a burden. It is a gift, a living, breathing record of a life well lived. And every day you rise, every step you take, every breath you draw, they are not just acts of survival. They are acts of triumph. There's a quiet kind of courage in reaching this point in life, a bravery not shouted from rooftops, but carried quietly in your bones, in your breath, in the steady beat of a heart that has weathered more than it ever thought it could. Standing at 75 is not a place of loss. It's a summit, a perspective earned only by climbing through the seasons of life, through the restless years of youth, the striving years of adulthood, the complex, beautiful mess of all the decades in between. And now, here you are, standing in a body that has carried you farther than you once dared to imagine. Sure, it feels different, it moves differently, speaks differently. But different doesn't mean broken. Different doesn't mean lesser. Different is the language of change, and change has been your companion all along. In the ways you've grown, adapted, grieved, and loved. The shifts you notice, the slower mornings, the careful steps, the way your hands trace the edges of time, they are not signs of retreat. They are invitations. Invitations to live more fully in the moments you have now, to listen more deeply to the wisdom within you, to love more fiercely, and forgive more freely. They are the body's way of asking you to be present, to savor instead of sprint, to appreciate instead of pursue. You are not who you were at 25 or 45 or 65. You are someone richer, deeper, fuller, someone who carries not just memories, but meaning. Not just experiences, but understanding. And your body, with all its creaks and sighs and softened edges, is not holding you back. It is holding you together. It is the place where your entire life has unfolded, and it deserves your tenderness, your gratitude, your awe. So when you wake tomorrow and feel the familiar stiffness, when you catch yourself moving slower or pausing longer, remember this. It's not just normal. It's sacred. It's the echo of a life fully lived and still unfolding. You are still here, still becoming, still writing your story with every step, every breath, every heartbeat. And that is nothing short of extraordinary.